Okay, let's continue and let's see some other really handy list methods. And the next one we are going to see will be the index. Well, for example, if you have a value and you want to do a search to find what index has such a value in the list, and then you can do the list name dot index the value you are looking for, and then Python will tell you where you can find such a value. And for example, we have the fam, and then we have the dad, and then dad's weight 198, and then mom's weight 121, and etc. Okay, and if you want to do a search and ask Python to find where is the what is the index for the value mom, and then you do fam.index mom, it will give you 2. However, here's something you want to pay attention to. You have to make sure the value mom is in the list first. Okay, so let me try to do something. Say fam equals dad, comma 198, and then string mom 121, and then well, I'm gonna stop here and say if I want to print fam.index, okay, and then mom. So we are gonna use Python to find us the index of the value mom, and then let's run that. And okay, and then I got 2, so that's good. But say if I want to say mama instead of mom, and then I run this again, not so good, right? I got an arrow and then it says mama is not in the list. So how can we safely use this? How can we safely use the index? Okay, so let me try this. If mama in fam, and then I'm gonna do this. Otherwise, I'm gonna say else print mama, comma is not in the list. Okay, so before doing the fam.index mama, we want to make sure the value mama is really in the fam. Otherwise, well, we are going to say that value mama is not in the list. So this is a safe way that we put the index function into an if branch. Okay, and let's come back. And another cool thing will be, well, if we want to count how many occurrence of a certain value in the list, you can do a dot count. So if you want to count how many ammas are there, and then you can do fam.count amma, and then you're going to get a 1. And if you spell it wrong, that is EMA, and then you're going to have a 0. Okay, so let's come back to this code. And after learning the dot count, we can code that in a different way. So instead of doing if mama in the fam, you can do fam dot count mama is greater than 0. Okay, let me explain that. So, well, the idea of doing this if branch is, well, if we are looking for some value to get the index and that value is not in the list, we are going to get the arrow. So we are going to make sure that we do have the value mama in the list before we do this dot index, right? And how do we make sure that there is at least one occurrence of mama? Well, and we can do in operator, mama in fam. But here's another way. If we do a count, if we count mama's occurrence in the fam is greater than 0, what does this mean? This means at least there is one mama in the list, right? Okay, and here is another question I want to ask. Well, just now we say there's no mama, we are going to have an arrow. And then let's do this. If we change this to mama, and then the fam count mama is greater than 0, and then we are going to get the index of mama, it should be 0, 1, 2. So we are going to get a 2, right? Okay, and let's play with that. How about I have another mama? Oh, Excuse me. Okay, so if we have two occurrence of mammoths, and then I want to get the index, which one am I gonna get? That will be the first one, the first occurrence, right? Because we still have two here. No, bless myself. Okay, so let's come back. Okay, well, another thing I want to discuss with you is if you have a list with mixed data type, and for example, like this fam, and the Python is the family member, the weight, another family member, another weight, or this one, that is the area of the house and then the size, another area of the house, another size. So when you are doing this, you are mixing multiple data types together into one list. Is that good or bad? Well, I would say this is not perfect. Okay, so if I am doing this, probably I'm going to do a sublist. So I'm putting the hallway and the size of the hallway into a sublist, and then the kitchen and the size of the kitchen into another list. So I have a list of sublists, and for each sublist, I only have one string representing the area of the house, and then the number representing the size of that part. So this is a little bit better. So let's go back, and the next question I want to talk about is how can you build a list? Well, to build a list, this means I'm gonna start a list from empty, and then I'm gonna add more values into the list. Okay, so let's see this example. I have a new list. The new list started to be empty, right? And then I have a list. Well, and then I'm using 4 value in a list. That's a typical way to visit all the values in a list. And for each of the element, I'm going to do 2 multiplied by the value, and then that's a new element. And I'm appending the new element to the new list. So what am I doing? I'm visiting each value in the A list, right? And for each value I'm visiting, I'm double that, and then I'm gonna put the new element into my new list. So I'm based on the A list, I'm trying to double all the values, and for each of the value doubled, I want to put that into the new list. Okay, so eventually I'm gonna have 4, 10, and 18. So all the values from A list doubled and then plug in to the new list. So let's see this one. Well, from this one to this one. Well, I kind of do something similar, but well, here I'm having the value in a pair of square bracket. What does this mean? So this value is now a list. So 2 multiplied by a list, what's that? That is to repeat the value in the list twice. Okay, so for each of the value in a list, and then I'm gonna put that into a list and then repeat that value twice, and eventually I want to say I want to add this new element to the new list. So you will get this. So for each of the value in a list, I want to put that into the new list twice. Okay, so that's the difference between this one and this one. And the major difference is, well, for this one, I'm doubling the value, but for this one, I'm doubling the occurrence of the value. Okay, so after today's lecture, and then you will be able to do the section 13 of the CS circle, and I will make another video talking about the daily exercise for today.